So much energy. So much. So much energy. Okay. I just realized I forgot to turn my light on. Not that that really changed anything. Let me remove all of these books that are sitting here now. We are, in case anyone's wondering, we are not going. Hey, Stephanie. Hi. How are you? We are not going live on Instagram today. Did I just say that twice?
No, you
Okay.
finally finished your sentence.
I'm like, squirrel. Stephanie said hi. Um, yeah, I'm just done with the technology today. It's been going on since 6 a.m. and I'm mentally fried. So, and to connect to Instagram with the whole time. So I'm closing all of those pages out. Having a whole time. People are like, this is why you don't grow. And I'm like, you do you.
Yeah.
So I'll sit here and do me. So today we're going to talk about dreams. I'm very excited about this. Oh, Stephanie says, all is well, just finished up some chores. Oh, nice.
Squirrel.
We all did. I was outside taking care of plants. Joy, you did like a whole thing today.
Just like a hike, honestly.
And so tell them what you did, and then because I have some questions and I want them to know what the hell we're talking about.
So
you're like, you had 10 minutes before this started. I'm like, I have questions now.
So Blake is going into high school football next year. Well, practice starts for high school ball at the end of this month, and then but it's during like the week, and it's during when me and his dad are at work. And so I'm going to drop him off, but he's going to ride a bike home. So he was just going to ride it on these sketchy back roads or on 410, which is like
a highway.
Yeah. And I was like,
seems like a great idea.
He's like, I'm going to choose the most dangerous option. So I actually found a trail that leads from our house to the high school. It's 3 miles one way. But, I mean, if you're on a bike, it's not that bad. Anyhow, he's not going to be doing it very often, if at all. But it was just fun. And I never knew that this spot was here in Bonnie Lake for 14 years. And so there's a creek, there's like this whole really nice trail. So that's what we did today. And I'm definitely out of shape.
Well, and it was 3 miles each way, and you had to go both ways.
Yeah.
So yeah, we both just threw on, well, Joy threw on clothes. And I was like, it's too sticky and humid. My office is only 78 degrees today, though, so that's kind of nice.
That is nice.
Yeah, the temp came down a little bit in here. It might help, too, that I'm wearing linen. I had to because this is so, like, random. There's going to be a lot of squirrels today, guys. I've only slept a couple hours. It's got these really cute little, like, I don't know if you can see it. Yeah, it's got this, like, cute little trim on it. I don't know. It's stupid, but I really liked it. I was like, oh, it's plain, except this other plain thing that's not the same plain thing that thing is.
It's like a doily.
Yeah, I'm wearing a doily. Yeah, that can go so many directions. We won't go there. I already feel old because I had this realization. You would think I would keep track of this, but I've been really focused on tracking constellations lately, which is, now that I'm saying this out loud, it sounds even dumber. But I have been where we're at, you've been out here, you can see the stars. It's amazing.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, I want to see all the constellations so I can like pick them out in the sky. Like I know what I'm doing. And I used to, when I was on the west side, Paula's laughing that I'm a doily. Yeah, thanks. but on the west side, I knew where the constellations were, and I never really took the time to get my bearings out here. And you would think that that would be a priority, but long story short, I've been studying the constellations. That was a rabbit trail to tell you about, the second or third rabbit trail, where I forgot that we'd gone into Gemini because I wasn't paying attention. And then when I was sending out the newsletter today, don't check your email; it hasn't gone yet. I sent it to Joy. I don't know if I did it right. She did all the tech stuff. I just like put in my stuff. And now I'm like, can you check this? I don't know actually how to send it. But I managed to send her one. Anyways, I was like, oh crap. Yeah, it's May 31st. We're in Gemini. Like I'm so delayed. And I even have like this chart because people will tease me like, you're an astrologer. Why don't you keep track of these things? And I even have like this chart I keep on my desk that like I typed up and made so I could be like, oh, May 31st is Gemini. So happy birthday, Geminis, today.
Wait,
And
today's the 21st.
what?
Today's the 21st.
Yeah, it's today.
Oh, I thought you said May 31st. I was like,
Oh, thank you. Now I feel a lot better. No, it's the 21st. I'm an astrologer. I know these things. What do we've got here? Oh, somebody's telling us about the chores she did today. Okay. She saved some mangoes from a raccoon. And her hands are blistering. And that was her grounding today. Hi, Brandy. Oh my God, you guys are funny. I did say this. Paula.
No.
Okay, so it's Gemini. Let me back up because I don't remember what the hell I was talking about. Constellations in Gemini. Why was I even talking about that?
I don't know. You were going to tell us.
Shoot. I don't remember. I'm living on caffeine, water, and limited sleep. And I'm getting laughed at a lot. Good thing we're talking about dreams today. I really need sleep. Too many veggies and flowers, and my lower back is not good. Oh, that sounds wretched. We're all like, oh, that's what I was going to say. I feel old because, my birthday's coming up. And it was one of those funny things. And this is where the Gemini was coming from and the constellations and all these other rabbit trails that goes all the way back to my top. Eva, use your behind. Use your behind on Gemini season. Okay, I think Stephanie is actually just making people laugh at her now instead of me. Oh, because. Okay, wait. Because you're behind on Gemini season is what you said. Oh, I get it. She's trying to keep me on track. You did just have a birthday, Brandy. Okay, I love you guys. This is like the backstage right now, except you're typing your stuff. We're like, at the end, I'm like, crap. We got 15 minutes left, guys, and we didn't even get what we're going to talk about. Sorry, autocorrect. Oh, Stephanie was funny.
It was good.
Okay. So I was like, I don't know if anyone else does this. When you are coming up on your birthday, and by the way, anyone that is coming on the live, we are totally running over today because we have no ability to focus. Because when I'm like this, Joy just laughs at me and doesn't ring me in. And when I ask her why, she thinks it's funny. So it's my version of drinking, I guess. No sleep and lots of caffeine. The whole. There's certain birthdays that doesn't happen all of them, but there's some birthdays, and this isn't a milestone birthday, so don't get me wrong. I just end up finding myself like reflecting, like not like so like I always pull charts, and I do that kind of reflection, and then I reflect on my journaling and all this other stuff. Like it's a whole time. But this year I was like, I kind of feel older. Like I have years. No. Come with me on this. So I have years when I'm like, whatever, it's just another birthday. And then I have years where I'm like, yeah, I should like, and it's only you. You're the only person that starts to do this to yourself, right? Where you're like, huh, yeah, gotten a little wrinklier, right? Or
Yeah.
you're just like, that didn't used to look like that. Or I'm just too freaking tired. And then I'm like, I just feel older this year. And so it was kind of funny, not in a bad way, because just if you didn't know, like my goal is to hit 50, not because I thought I was going to die before then, everyone else did, but because it was just like, to me, it's a great year. 50 is like the best year to turn. So like, since I was little, I remember thinking like, I'm going to be like a freaking queen, like a diva when I'm 50. And then it turns out I'm going to be a granola at 50. And I'm going to be like, come with me, hold my hand. I'm going to make you feel better. Hold this crystal, hold these herbs, drink this. No, don't ask what it is. Close your eyes. Great. And then everyone's like, I don't know, she's crazy, but I feel amazing. Oh my gosh, Brandy's having a whole time. Her other hip's not feeling good either. And I'm, oh, Brandy, so sorry. Okay, when we go backstage, well, actually, screw it. We're just gonna do it now. So, Brandy, get like there's a whole concoction. So make golden milk. But when I say make golden milk, don't make it like a cup of tea. You need to take the golden milk, and I'm assuming you've got the golden milk tea. If not, you know where to get it. Put the golden milk on the stovetop and simmer it for like 10, 15 minutes in actual milk. So you got to sit there and like stir it. So grab a stool or something. Or maybe standing's better, whatever one's better. Maybe do the stool and alternate. But then stir it and simmer it for like 10, 15 minutes. And then you can refrigerate it or put it in the thermos because it's hot there. So maybe refrigerate it instead of the thermos. But do that. And then in your bath, take Epsom salt baths, which that's kind of a no-brainer, right? Don't take more than one a day. And in your Epsom salt bath, put in peppermint and lavender oil in the salt and then dump that in your bath. And then also drink Skullcap or take Skullcap capsules. I have Skullcap capsules if you need them. We never put them up on the website. I don't know why. Probably because I never asked Joy to, and she probably doesn't even know we have them. But we've got like 5,000 of them. Just, for inventory purposes if you don't sleep tonight. And the Skullcap capsules, I can send you some, but they work wonders on that pain. There's a whole thing with hips. And I am in the mood to where when we go backstage, I can show you what to physically do about that. But that's up to you. I don't feel like standing up right now and moving my chair. Otherwise, I would show you now. Okay, hold on. I'm way behind on these. Mine was so awesome. Oh, your 50th. Yeah. No, but I know where to get it. Okay, cool. Squirrel with every conversation. Yeah, sorry about that. Yeah. You want to know what's really funny about that? When got in middle school, me and one of my girlfriends who was kind of like Joy, she thought I was really funny when I would go off on these tangents and have these kinds of days where I couldn't focus, which, let's be honest, everyone who's commenting on here has seen this. But we used to have this secret, and it was so funny to us. And we would say the squirrels fly at midnight, which meant that we were going to go do some bad things that we're not allowed to do. And so it's kind of funny that now I have such a hard time with squirrels. Yes. Okay, cool. And then, Skullcap. Yeah, Skullcap's amazing. All right. Guess we were talking about herbs today, not dreams. And squirrels. Herbs and squirrels. We should just throw a rabbit in there, and then we can have a real spring experience going on. I should, too, remind me, Joy, because I'm not going to remember this because I'm going to go to bed after this. Well, maybe not. I do have one more integration to check, but then I'm going to bed. So remind me to post my videos about Aries, Taurus, and Gemini. I keep meaning to post a video and tell you guys all about those signs and forget to. And it's not just the fluff. Like it's actually like this is what the sign means in this house. This is what the sign means in this house. That way you can actually look and go, that's me. So okay. Brandy's laughing. um, can't dream if you don't sleep. Yeah, I can dream all I want. Don't tell me.
Getting us back on track.
Yeah, Paula's like full circle. Okay, so I do have the books here that we're gonna use when we go backstage to pick our book of the month. Anyone who is following the Tibetan Book of the Dead with us that isn't in the backstage of Fireside, we divorced that book. And so we are going to read a new book. It was unanimous. And so for a variety of reasons, but we are going to dive into dreams. And we're also going to do card readings today to tie back to our full moon, or I'm sorry, our new moon on Friday. And one other thing I wanted to say too, that it's, I swear, my last rabbit trail, and then we're going to get to that uncomfortable spot where we start to interrogate Joy, and she's like awkward and on the spot. Look at her. Oh, that's why you're so fun. I have like a list of questions to ask you about dreams. Yeah, it's going to get awkward, and I don't want to hear about your X-rated dreams. I'm talking, you know.
I don't have those. Yeah.
That's already TMI. So
I do not have those.
Well, when we did the new moon, one of the things we talked about doing is pulling cards and on Friday. And so I don't know if anyone did pull their own cards, but I said that we were going to pull cards. So I'll get one now and just kind of talk through that to kind of wrap that piece up. And then when we go backstage, we can pull more cards if we want, because we can do whatever we want when we're not being censored. And actually, I'm sitting like all folded up in my chair. So hold on. I should have had my cards like right here, but you know, that was an afterthought.
It worked.
This is one of my favorite decks. Wait, what?
I said you knew where they were. It's good.
I did because it's one of my favorite decks. I was going to go downstairs and open up a new deck. And then I kind of like, I don't remember what, it wasn't Friday after the new moon. And I was like, don't forget that along with shipping all the orders. Cause you know, it was Friday evening. That's because they are a reality. Yes. Joy, that was to you. She's like, I went on a hike today. I'm gonna take a bath and go to bed.
Right.
Anyways, I ended up picking the same deck when I went to go get a deck. So I was like, well, I'll just use mine. This deck is called Magical Times. I love this deck. Have you used this deck?
Not me personally.
What's your favorite deck?
Well, honestly, I haven't actually physically used them. I just like them.
You just buy decks? Oh my God, you're hilarious.
I like
art. They're like, oh, they are. They're beautiful art.
Yeah.
Brandy. Nope. Brandy doesn't have it. It's just one of my favorites because it talks to me. So when you are getting decks, if it's oracle cards or tarot decks, honestly, they talk to you. And that's how you know. And it's very funny because people have all of these ways of like, oh, you should pick your deck this way or you should pick your deck that way. The reality is you pick the deck that talks to you. I had a Rider-Waite deck. There's one that's like happy and cheery, not so medieval, same graphics, different colors. And I'm right there with you, Joy. I feel like this is going to go in so many directions between you and Paula. I should have never made that comment. So I was really trying to like learn the tarot, and I was finding it really difficult. And then it was like, actually my girls were like, Joy, they collected a lot of decks, and then they started using them, and they were like quickly siphoning through them. And I used to have a huge stack of decks. Because I would use them for different types of readings until I was like, you know what? It's just so much. I'm just lazy. Let's just be honest. It's easier to do a psychic reading. And so that's what I started doing instead. But yeah, there are so many beautiful decks, Brandy. You're so right. We have a ton of decks. Joy's the one that buys our decks. So if you have deck requests or are looking for something or want to know about one of them, she's your gal. I don't even know what we got. I literally like closed my eyes and grabbed the same freaking deck I have. So Paul's laughing. So what you do is, honestly, some stores open up their decks and you can use them. And that's always great. Sometimes you can just muscle test and figure out if the deck is right for you if you're ordering online. I actually ordered this deck online. And I didn't even muscle test it or anything. I just was like, I did a Joy. That's gorgeous. I need that deck. And I got it and was like, yep. I mean, it's just beautiful. Like,
when you say muscle test, what does that mean?
oh, so you put your fingers together and then you take your other two fingers in the same position, just like two eyes. And then like really weird, like elementary school eyes, or you could, so then I always say, if you do this for the first time, test it yourself. This tells me that Joy doesn't watch any of the modules in Spiritual Pathfinders because we've done this a couple times. But they are also amazing. You're right.
I was trying to like, so you could explain it because not everybody knows what it means.
You're throwing me in the wrong. And I'm throwing you under the bus.
Always.
There is a lot of deep love between us. I'll send you a crystal. You'll be fine. So you put them together, and then you would use these two fingers, put them inside two of them, and it doesn't matter which hand you use. I would say if you use your dominant hand, and I don't know how the camera's set up. This is my left hand. This is my right hand. You pull them apart using these fingers, pulling them outward. And you would say, and you can do this other ways. I'm just saying this is an easy way if you're just starting. And you can say like, should I get this deck? And if you pull your fingers apart, it means one thing. If you can't pull them apart, it means another. Typically, if you can't pull them apart, that's yes. Because it's increasing the strength. Should I get this? Yes, it's going to increase for you. Now, if they pull apart, it's a no. Wait, before you do this for the first time, you got to ask, is this show me yes, or is this yes? And then pull, and then you kind of know. And then that way you can figure out which is yes and which is no. It's almost always that first version I showed you. And he's laughing at us. There are so many buses that people are under right now. Yeah. You know what? Lola's in the same mood. So it's all right. Probably because she's been insistent ever since she had her procedure, staying right by me. And that means she's not sleeping either. So you can do that to figure out your deck. If you're in a shop and they're closed, you can hold the deck to your chest. And if you lean into it, you want it. That's the right thing. And if you lean out of it, it's not for you. It's kind of harder to do that, to be honest, because in shops, a lot of times people are touching things just like the crystals and the decks. And like when we had our shop, I would have to like cleanse everything all the time. And I know some good shops like Monajon's Herbals in Everett, she cleanses that place every day. And she even will do it during the day. If it's just like, whatever that just was, we're getting it out of here. Right. And anyways, if you're, I guess, in Everett, Washington, which nobody here is. But I'm just saying, like, there's some shops that have like some good practices of keeping theirs clean, but you can end up having a deal where maybe it was supposed to be a good deck for you, but because of someone else's energy, you're repelling it, right? Okay. So hopefully that was enough information, Joy. I'm going to shuffle these. And then when I'm shuffling, I'm just telling you how I do this. You all do you. We had like that whole training and videos on like tarot cards and readings and oracle cards. Gosh, actually, I should go look. That was so old. I think we did that like 2 years ago.
Wow.
Again, feeling old. So I shuffle my decks, and when I'm shuffling them, this is how I shuffle them. When I shuffle them, I already start putting my intention in it. And all I'm going to be putting in this is a collective consciousness new moon card. Like what energy, what things, what should we be manifesting right now? And that's that. I also do it 3 times. And just for the record, for anybody who's like, that girl cannot shuffle, these are oracle cards, and I have very tiny hands. I didn't know that until I got an oracle deck.
I'm gonna buy you tiny hands now.
Yeah, it's like a whole time for me to shuffle oracle decks. Before I like got all better from being sick, I used to not be able to like shuffle. And so Mike would get so frustrated when I'm like, let's pull cards. He's like, it's Tuesday and midnight. I'm like, it's okay. You don't have work till 8. And we would pull like full spreads, like multiple spreads. But he would get so annoyed because he was like, give me the deck. Because the cards are going everywhere. I'm taking forever, like trying to position my fingers around them. It's funny. Okay, so I'm going to set it down and do one more like moment. You're just going to have like this brief moment of me being quiet where I put my intention in it again. I split the deck and I grab that card. And apparently we're going to, but a squirrel or nut comes up. Yes. That would be freaking hilarious, Paula. Okay. All right. Oh, that's hilarious. It's the same card that was on the bottom of the deck when we started.
Flexibility.
Yeah, Joy, that's for you. Go with the flow of your sister. No, I'm just kidding. They're like, just roll your eyes and just nod your head. This is beautiful. Gently flow through the turbulence. Life has the ability to shape you. Bend, don't break. Okay. I'm just going to tell you because today I did the weekly reading. I know y'all don't got it yet. I'm going to get better about sending it before like your guys' version of midnight on the East Coast. But your
version of midnight.
Yeah. Well, because they're 3 hours away. It's like 9:30 there. And we're like, we just got done with dinner and we're already talking about going to bed. And they're all like, I feel old too. And I'm like, you're a trooper. You're staying up. So we've got I'm going to try to get, oh yeah. See, isn't that a beautiful card?
It is.
And I love the images on this because to me, these just totally speak to me. It's not going to, oh, there we go. Because it's got like all this flow going on and it's all circular. Right. And then, and it's very, very free flowing. It totally goes along with this week's reading. So that is the energy we're going to keep working with this new moon. And there's that. That is pretty funny that was the same card.
Right.
Yeah. Well, when I programmed this deck, I actually, this is like total, like, I shouldn't just saying all these things. You're going to realize like my level of laziness is crazy. So I took this deck after using it for a couple years. And I would say I do take very good care of my decks. Look at it's not even bad. The corners are getting a little rough. That's it. But I, after a couple years of using it, and this became like my deck, my personal deck that I use. I don't do readings with this deck for like people in general, usually. And I guess I did today, but with it, I set it up and I charged it and programmed it to just be in an order so that, and I have a separate pile of the cards that these go into. And so I can just grab the deck out of the box, and the first card that's there is the card I'm supposed to use. Anyways, Brandy, yes. Stephanie, it's usually there for my office hours. Nice. I love you have office hours. I have like an office life. I never leave this room except to get water. Okay, let's talk about dreams. Joy, it won't be long because it's already 7, but I do have some questions for you. Ready?
Sure.
Your whole body was just like, okay, go. You should start drinking before we go live.
You wouldn't like that. I would just laugh and snort the whole time. And
then pass out, and then tomorrow call out sick.
Right? Yeah.
You're like, I had a glass of wine. Okay, so what is the most, well, first of all, you have dreams. You remember your dreams.
Yeah, most of them.
Right. Okay. What is your most like real dream?
Are we live?
Censored a little.
I'll just say I had a reoccurring dream for since I was a teenager.
Oh, okay. This is even better than I had expected.
Yeah. So, and I had it like on the regular basis. And well, it's not bad. It's just, so it was about our mom that she would like, I just kept dreaming that she ended up in a wheelchair and that like there was all these things wrong with her. And I just never, but I always just had it, just this reoccurring dream, and it just never made sense to me. And then I was like, 24, 25, and she ended up being sick, and then she's in a wheelchair. I'm like,
God, were you that young when that happened?
Yeah, I was in my teenage years. I think I was like 13, 14 when they started happening. Yeah.
You kind of killed actually several of my questions.
Sorry.
It was really good. Well, because like sometimes you're just like, and you give me like such short answers. So I was like, I'm prepared this time. I'm bringing all questions. And here you are like, let me just, so you've had these premonition dreams.
Yeah.
Is that the only time you had a premonition dream?
Yeah.
Oh my God, Paula said people pay for this kind of entertainment. You do, Paula. Actually, you do. Okay, so when you first started remembering or realizing, I guess now, like later you realize, but you started having premonition dreams that you're aware of that you could remember when you were a teenager.
Right.
How do you feel about that? True story.
I think that dream set me up for the future because there was a period of time where I was going to bring her into my home. And then I started having dreams about the wheelchair, but I was the one standing at the top of the hill and letting it go. And so then I was like, yeah, she can live with me. Like,
you're like, this is where this relationship stops.
And that's when I like stopped it right there. I was like, because it was happening every night. And I'm like,
that's so crazy.
Yeah. And my spouse at the time, I finally told him because I was like, I'm having these really disturbing dreams.
You're like, am I doing this to her? But that was the only one?
I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
The only ones that like stand out in my mind was
that
one. Yeah.
Interesting. Mm-hmm. So do you have dreams that are just ridiculous and you're like, whatever? Or nightmares?
Yeah. Yeah, but I think usually when I do, then I just like work them out in my head on the way to work, or I call you.
That's true. Actually, now that I think about that, yeah, you're right. You
Yeah,
have
because
called
we
me
gotta
and been like,
talk
I had a
about it
dream.
sometimes. Yeah.
That's so funny. Um, I often like I have found, and this is just advice for everyone, and then we're gonna hop backstage because Joy genuinely did answer all my questions because she had like a really good solid answer. One of the few I got from you. Aw, I love that, Brandy. Brandy keeps the dream card I gave her. Um, but when you, if everyone dreams, if you believe you do or not, it's actually a deal of remembering it, and it's our subconscious mind, and way too much talking. Um, I've been on the phone for like hours with my kids today too.
Too much laughing.
Well, and what's weird is like they're kind of like me, and so they call me when they're working. Yeah. Joy's like, I get those calls. So what you want to do is, if you are not remembering your dreams or you think you aren't dreaming, you have to actually practice retaining your dreams. And it's work in the beginning, and then it becomes super easy. And for some people, it's like really quick. For other people, not so much. So it just depends on you for how long it's going to take you. But what you want to do is, especially for you, Joy, because you dream a lot every night and you have some like very, very extreme dreams. Like even the ones you don't tell me about for clarification, anyone who's new and watching, Joy's my sister, and I have like full carte blanche in reading her. I'm just kidding. But when we were talking about the dreams, I remembered looking at yours and being like, you have the most amazing dreams because they're just like beautiful and they're so colorful. And it's kind of like watching, it's not cartoonish, but it's almost like watching, like, remember like Strawberry Shortcake and Rainbow Bright. And I'm like, Joy lives there. That's so cute. And she's like, I got this little dog I talked to, and then this horse I talked to. I don't know who they are, but they're my tribe. And we're gonna just go have some candy and feel great about it. I'm like, that's the best dreams ever. And they do like fun things, like they go save things. Anyways, that's Joy doing all our humanitarian work in the background in a totally different realm. But at the same time, Paula, here comes another bus.
Or a train. It's a train.
Right?
It's just a train.
Oh, you know what? Let's just go with a squirrel. Did you watch that thing I sent you, Among Us?
No, I haven't watched it yet. I haven't had
Okay, we're going to talk about that. And then
not watching it.
I'm going back to the dreams. No worries. Poor people. So what you have to do is actually, at first, it's easiest if you start midday. So midday, if you can take a nap, or right when you get home from work, if you can take a nap, and then time yourself, like try to do like 20 minutes around there. And then if you can, really, you want to shoot for 2 hours. I'm saying 20 minutes because Joy, I know you do not got 20 minutes. But you can have a dream that quick. But because I'm going to stay focused. So for like 2 hours, if you can take a nap, that's like ideal because of the way your brain works and how it goes in and out of the REM sleep, which you know that you work in clinics. And then when you wake up, have a journal and something to write with right there. And it's specific. It's actual pen to paper or pencil to paper. You can't do it like you could do it electronically, but it's actually about triggering that part of your brain, the creativity that will keep the vision and the feelings and everything going, so you can keep writing about it. When you physically are moving your hand to write, it creates that creative connection in your brain, which you want to avoid logic as much as possible for the most part when you're talking about dreams. There's times to use it, but for the most part, you want to not be using that part of your brain because it stifles your connection It changes your vibration. It, doesn't keep your third eye open. And I could keep going on about it, but I'm not going to. I'm staying focused so we can go backstage. And so you want to just keep practicing and doing that. And then you will get to a point where it becomes easier and easier. And then you can start doing it for your night dreams instead of having to worry about like, oh my gosh, it's the middle of the day, or I just got home from work, I need to take a nap, which, I mean, that would be me anyways. Like, you know what? It's 2 p.m. I have done so much. I just need to lay down. My justification is I've already been up for 10 hours. So it's true. Or more. But when you can find those moments where you're not exhausted, it'll actually help substantially. Because if you're exhausted, you will just go into the sleep and your body is focused on your recovery and healing and doing all of that stuff. And that's why when you dream at night and when you can start tapping into the night dreams, ideally you're getting at least 8 hours of sleep. And so you have way more dreams. And again, remember, like, people kind of get confused with the hundreds of dreams they can have a night because it's not in our time, right? It's that part of us is not connected with the physical material world we live in. So there's no time. And so it goes very rapid because you don't need to verbalize it. You don't have to use these other sensories that your human body has. It's just downloads and then your brain processing.
Makes sense.
Yeah. But you got to get like a journal. I like this size of a journal. This is obviously a book. We'll talk about that in a hot minute. But I like the smaller ones on the nightstand.
Yeah.
Couple reasons. I feel way more productive. There's a lot more pages to flip, and I feel like I'm fury writing. It's great. But the reality is, it's just convenient. It's because you're not having to fully get awake. Sometimes if your dream wakes you up or you wake up and you don't know why, try and focus on that dream. Obviously,
I've had those dreams where you wake up and then you're like, it was such a good dream. You try to go back to it, and I never go back to it. It's so frustrating.
Bastards made a run for the hills. Want to go backstage?
Yeah, let's go.
Yeah, let's go deeper.
You can pick on the other people.
I know. You know what? We're gonna have to start rotating everyone in Fireside. Like,
yeah,
you have a time where you have to. Yeah, Brandy's like, yes, go backstage. We'll have to rotate it and be like, Brandy, you're my guest today.
Paula's next.
Paula's next. Paula says, hang on. Stephanie says, I'm down. Okay. So, because there was some confusion last week, please make sure your app is updated on your phone or tablet or whatever you got. Paula says, bring it. Okay. Paula's next week. And now I'm alarmed. Thanks, Joy. Now who's got the bus? So go into your app and join the Zoom link from there. And I will see you all in a minute.
Bye.
We're going to go where we are not censored.